Hello and welcome to the Nuclear Reactor, and today we will be reacting to What If Gine Went to Earth with Goku Part 17. I hope y'all are enjoying my reactions. There's the finale next after this, I believe, and then episode 0, which I assume will be about their time on planet Vegeta, I think. We'll find out, so I hope y'all enjoyed my reaction still, and let's get on with this.
Who you make
Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Comment if you want, but just
hey really guys, Masakox here.
That's actually something I want to mention. Thank you so much, because even though I had to put myself on hiatus while going through all the shit I've been going through, I've noticed that my sub count has been consistently climbing. So I really appreciate that. And thank you all for everything.
Masakox here. The last couple of parts have indeed been pretty heavy for the vast majority of you out there. All of this coming from a story which had started off so straightforward and forward-thinking. Something with quite a bright future from something that was so narrow. Dragon Ball Minus, it had provided us a flickering note of wonderment despite its utter devastation of the mythos of the show's bad boy Bardock. From it, we got the likes of Gine. Finally, after decades of mystery, we finally knew who Goku's mother was, and it went some way to explaining the good nature within Kakarot that was brought to the fore with his trademark head bump. Despite this though, Gine still went down with Planet Vegeta, but she remained in our hearts, and now thanks to the story, she was now able to stick around for much longer than in the original, and finally be able to reach out further than she ever did, and recognize that she was a lot stronger than she thought she was. That, and also get a chance to have some time with her son as a grown man.
Also, I wanted to ask you guys, please, do you know if anybody does videos like this, but for Naruto? Like, there's so many characters that I wish there had been so much more development with, but were just killed off immediately. So, let me know if you know of anybody who makes things like this, but for Naruto.
The strongest mama has done her part, and will continue to do so, in this next chapter of the adventure of what might happen had she gone to Earth with her son, instead of succumbing to the inconvenience of a planet exploding. This story is something that a lot of you have grown to love. The Raditz adventure may be my most well known amongst the fandom, but this one is the series of events which allows me to explore more emotional depths than what is possible in most Dragon Ball stories. You know, Toriyama could be a bit tone deaf with that. She had been the weakest Saiyan in her social group, fallen from the heights of Bardock's brigade and pigeonholed into menial jobs. Now though, she had realized her true value, and yet she didn't really like it that much. It's very un-Saiyan-like. She didn't know what to do. She wanted peace, yet she wanted to do her part for her new home. For most of her time on this planet, she was torn, but now, in her older age, she had a plan, and that plan was for her to leave a mark, and then leave it up to the next generation. What do I mean exactly? Well, I mean, if you were here for the last two parts that came out in quick succession, you'll understand. In that last part, Gine had gone into it with a mission, and knew that her time was most likely up. She was either going to call it a day after this battle, or, if the Cell Games was the last thing she would ever experience in the living realm, she would go out and eat that figurative horse. She was in a sort of daze. She had become some sort of husk, very out of character, like she was kind of resigned to something. Luckily for her though, her training with Kakarot had proved to be useful, and she was able to whittle down Cell to the point of her thinking that her signature technique, the Max Rebellion Phalanx, would be enough to either rid the world of Perfect Cell, finally, or at least incapacitate him to the point that he will no longer pose a threat to the people of Earth. Sadly though, neither outcome happened. Instead, Cell had regenerated, thanks to King Piccolo's cells, which had been a previously unknown trait in that world because we never had Piccolo Jr. In this situation, Gine was down for the count. She had no response. Cell was respectful though in that regard. The world's strongest mama had done far more than he had ever expected her to do. But now, her time had passed. What was going to happen? Well, let's get back to it. Our story continues with Gine crying silently and her face covered in injuries. Cell, who had been through a lot, looked almost in mint condition, albeit with some shortness of breath, after regenerating from just a torso. I mean, that does take a lot out of you. Gine was on the ground, also gasping for breath, in between her anguished tears.
No.
Cell closes his eyes and raises his hand, about to blast the mother away, like it was some sort of duty, not really getting any enjoyment out of this. The air around them begins to fizz and spark, the aura of Cell beginning to formulate a projectile, ready to do its...
Have I ever mentioned he's a damn good storyteller? He's got my hair standing on end on my arms and stuff. He's just so fucking good.
To fizz and spark, the aura of Cell beginning to formulate a projectile, ready to do its deed of ridding Earth of Gine's physical form. This is the end for you, Saiyan. This has been a rather momentous experience. I thank you. It's been fun. Gine gets up to her feet and presses her head next to the ball of energy, almost accepting her fate. Everybody is transfixed with fear, and even Cell is caught for a loop. He doesn't know what to say or do, but somebody else does. Cell is sent flying and out of his own ring. Cell was eliminated from his own Cell games, from a ring out. Who had come to Gine's aid? Was it Kakarot? Was it Raditz? No.
Vegeta.
It was Vegeta. The mother, out of sheer astonishment, collapses back to the ground again, beginning to cough and splutter, having ceased to be breathing, realizing her fate, thinking no point, but this took the wind out of her. The prince, not looking at her, speaks. You have made your point. No low-class warrior would have done what you have just done. I am proud to call you a Saiyan. Now rest. I will take it from here. Gine coughs and looks up to Vegeta. And if you think that she's going to be grateful about this, then you got another thing coming, as does the prince.
I don't need your pity. I have made peace with my fate. Now what? I get to live for a few minutes more whilst that monster tears us all apart. If what you're looking for is thanks, nothing you can say or do will ever make up for the pain you have caused me and my family. Go stroke your own ego. I don't care.
With that, Gine stumbles her way
What exactly is his ego?
her way to the
Sorry.
edge of the ring, jumps out, and into the arms of her son. Vegeta is left furious. However, instead of taking it out on the ungrateful cow, he instead has to aim it at the raging Bugman. Despite being eliminated by his own rules, Cell gets back into the ring. I think he's done playing by the rules. Jimmy Firecracker is stating that, oh no, he's done an illegal move! But Cell is paying no attention to these jabbering words. In an explosion of anger, a chunk of the stadium is vaporized, and Cell walks out from the Dust Bowl and flames towards the prince. You shouldn't have done that, Vegeta. I grew weary of that wench's stalling tactics. It's time for me to do what she couldn't, and remove every last ounce of your being from my sight. Cell looks not only unimpressed, but also disgusted. I take no joy from fighting you. What? Exclaims the prince. You are nothing. Gine stepped up despite knowing her efforts would be for naught. She is more of a Saiyan than you will ever be. She has earned my respect, whereas you... Vegeta throws a punch in Cell's direction, but is met with air, and then an elbow to the head. Have earned nothing but my disdain. The resulting fight between Cell and Vegeta is brief, but frenetic. If you think it's going to be a walk in the park, then think again. Thanks to Vegeta having nothing to do but train in his effective isolation for quite a long time, he had managed to break through the barrier of Super Saiyan Grade 3 and reach the same full power Super Saiyan level that Kakarot, Gine and Gohan had done. This was no easy road to victory for Cell, but neither was it a turning point for our heroes. Vegeta isn't...
Then I'm forgetting something. Is Super Saiyan Grade 4 different from GT Super Saiyan 4? I'm confused. Please let me know.
Isn't going to win. Thanks to his major regeneration a couple of weeks back, and now this one from a pile of ab muscles, Cell was stronger than ever. And remember, this is super perfect Cell we're dealing with here, but he was getting tired. For now though, he was winning against this short stack. That said stack was getting angry at being made a fool, and he leaps up to the skies to prepare his own ultimate technique that would be way stronger than that woman's idiotic move. Enter the final flash. Despite Cell being a little drained, he chooses not to run away from it, but take it. He mimics Vegeta and outstretches his arms before powering up a Kamehameha. You don't seriously think that I'm going to be letting you show off, do you? You're even more of a laughingstock than I had thought, Vegeta. Have a taste of your own medicine. With that, we get a beam struggle between the final flash and Kamehameha. The dueling beams tussle for a while before suddenly, the prince's attack starts to make headway. Vegeta can sense his power pushing through. Ha ha ha! It's over, Cell! I have the upper hand. Now to end this. Ha! The final flash bursts again and breaks through the ki of Cell and envelops him. With that, the entire stadium is destroyed, and the camera that was transmitting the games to the world is broken. The Earth is now dark. Minutes pass, and Vegeta thinks he has the win. He powers down and cannot sense Cell's energy. He, in his mind, had won. He lands back down on the ground and surveys the land around him, before laughing out loud in a pure alpha fashion. Was that it? What a joke. I should have been the one to face him from the start. Why were you even here, woman? Tell me, why did you even bother? Gine is only just regaining consciousness after being comforted by Raditz, nobody choosing to indulge the prince's bluster. However, before he can shout any more grand gestures and obscenities, Cell blasts a hole through Vegeta's chest. Would you just shut up? Cell was back, and he was nettled. He looked like he hadn't been scratched. Vegeta is left speechless, obviously, gasping for breath, before turning around to face the Bugman. How? It's quite simple. I knew you were going to keep that struggle going for hours and hours to stroke your own pride. So, I just got it over with. It's far simpler than having to pander to your obsessive nature. As Cell is busy tearing down the prince's very fabric of reality, Android 16 approaches Raditz. It is no longer safe for your mother to stay here. Allow me to take her back to Capsule Corp for treatment. Raditz thinks about this, but before he can respond, Gine places a hand on 16's leg.
No, I wish to stay. Boys, go help Vegeta.
Mother, why? He doesn't deserve our help. He wronged you so cruelly. Why in Kami's name would you show mercy when he clearly doesn't know the meaning of the word?
Earth is more important than what I want. 16?
Yeah, true.
Your baby will need a nap soon enough.
16 smiles.
Understood.
As Cell prepares to tear more holes in Vegeta, the Saiyan disappears from view. Cell is looking around for answers, and then sees Raditz in the distance, carrying the crippled prince, and then pulling a face. Ha ha! Finders keepers! Before disappearing again. With Cell scrambling to find out what happened, he is then met with 2 punches to the gut from a newly instant transmitted pair, Kakarot and Gohan. They were both powered up too, and looking focused. If you think that Kakarot's going to be throwing him a sensu bean to have a good fight, you don't do that if you mess with Gine. Oh no, you don't remember what happened with Frieza. Now distracted by these two, Raditz returns to 16's side with Vegeta and delivers his charge to the Brobot. There! Now get him out of here! He's caused enough trouble to last a lifetime! Let's hope said lifetime indeed lasts a good long life.
Very well. I shall carry this objective out. Good luck, Saiyans.
With that, 16 takes Vegeta back to Capsule Corp, undetected
I
by
love
Cell,
16.
thanks to his robotic makeup and the fact that Vegeta's barely putting out any energy. Raditz watches the pair disappear from view. Not exactly happy with the prince getting an early bath. Count your lucky stars, prince. If it were up to me, then it's probably best you never know. Raditz resumes caring for his mother, but then deciding to transmit them both to a point further away from the action for their safety. As they settle down a good distance away, Gine opens her eyes and can see 2 golden auras fighting Cell, and she smiles.
Go make your mama proud, boys.
The action cuts back to Cell, and he is now facing a tough time of it. Losing energy fast, he is having difficulty keeping up with Kakarot and Gohan. How is this possible? I'm supposed to be the perfect being! How are you weaklings doing this? Gohan is the one to pipe up this time.
It's obvious. Your showboating has proven to be your undoing. In other words, You shouldn't have let Vegeta blast you to bits.
Kakarot nods and powers up again, before another flurry of blows has descended upon Cell. The Bugman has had enough. He flies backwards and charges up another Kamehameha, this one much bigger than the previous. Gine's eyes widen and she looks fearful.
He's serious this time.
What? What do you mean, Mother?
Raditz, I need you to do something.
She then tells Raditz what he needs to do, and he takes it in. Not sure what to expect. The Kamehameha from Cell is met by a father-son Kamehameha, and the giant blasts dominate the scene. Almost everything is dwarfed by this colossal ball of energy. Cell is irate beyond belief.
How is this for showboating? When I am through with you, there will be nothing left of this pitiful world. I am perfect! Perfection personified!
Cell has clearly got a screw loose. Kakarot and Gohan hunker down and give it their all. Gohan going so far at one point that his hair flashes backwards for a second, spikier than usual, before resuming its regular Super Saiyan shape. Kakarot noticed this, and he knew that his son was giving his all and knocking on the door of a potential future power. Cell is getting desperate. Whatever he's doing isn't getting anywhere. But then he remembers. Gine went all out against him, and that got results, so maybe instead of waiting for them to tire out, yes, one last blaze of glory, just like Gine did. That'll do it. That'll be enough to end these two, and then afterwards, the other two will be easy pickings. A blast of power surges forward, and is enough to catch Kakarot and Gohan napping, and almost overwhelms them. In that instant, the planet sharply intakes a breath. Is it over? No. In that moment, Raditz and Gine transmit to their family's side.
Raditz? Mom?
You seriously think we would let you hog the limelight? Think again, bro.
Boys, let's show them what the Sun family can...
Generational Kamehameha. That's so cool.
really do.
All three of her progeny nod before she and Raditz power up their own Kamehameha, using every last ounce of strength they have got going. With this sudden burst of power, it's now Cell who is overwhelmed, and he can feel the intense heat of the Son Kamehameha wash over him and his body disintegrating. He cannot come back from this. Like Gine did earlier, he closes his eyes and accepts his fate.
Well done, Son Gine.
Seconds later, the beams shrink until the natural light of the sun resumes its influence, and the Son family take in the scene. There is no trace of Cell left, not one single eye.
That was beautiful. I just love this. Too bad it's coming to an end.
Iota. They are naturally cautious, and Kakarot chooses now to shout out to the heavens.
King Kai, is it over? Is Cell truly gone?
There is a pause before King Kai jovially responds.
Yeah, that's a go there, buddy. You wipe the floor with him.
The four then collapse to the floor, laughing out of sheer relief. After catching their breath, Raditz transmits the four of them back to Capsule Corp and arrive at the same time 16 does, carrying the unconscious Vegeta.
I take it that you being here means that Cell is no longer alive.
Gohan gives 16 a thumbs up.
Excellent. Today is a joyous day.
Gine also gives 16 a thumbs up before falling over. Yeah, somebody get her a sensory beam, please. Several days pass, and the gang are all fully recovered from their ordeal. Gine is back at Mount Paozu cooking up a storm, with Grandpa Gohan fully embracing this routine that she had grown to love. Now with Cell gone, she can now rest and live out the rest of her days with this sage old man by her side. There is a knock on the door, though. It's Raditz, accompanied by Launch. Launch is carrying a suitcase.
What's with the luggage, Launch? Are you two moving in together? Oh my goodness! Oh my, things are happening so fast!
Gine is misty-eyed at the thought of her eldest perhaps marrying this woman, having a granddaughter maybe. Oh, she'd love a granddaughter. She pictured this moment ever since Raditz returned.
Well, not exactly. That's why I'm here. I have something to tell you, Mother.
Can it wait until after dinner?
Raditz can smell the food and mulls this over.
Do you even need to ask?
It turns out that Raditz is planning to leave, and Launch was going to go with him.
Do you really have to go? Why can't you settle down and start a family here? Surely you're tired of wandering around space after all this time.
Like father, like son, I'm afraid. I've got the itch to explore again. I've been in one place too long. Now that things have calmed down here, I don't think that Kakarot would want me here cramping his style. Besides,
It's not like I'm going alone. He pats Launch on the shoulder. Yeah, I ain't let him get away that easy. You know, I want to see space. And I ain't exactly got much going for me here, what with my, brushes with the law, if you know what I mean. Raditz laughs. There's a lot to see and do, as well as lives to protect.
I love Launch too. It's so funny that it's sad that he really forgot about her and just wrote her out of it because he literally forgot about her character.
Still a freedom fighter, and now with this new strength, nothing will stand in my way of saving the weak and ending the cruel. There, and you want to show Vegeta how wrong he was in making fun of you before, says a sly Launch. Yeah, that too. His mother laughs and nods.
You're right. You are your father's son, Raditz. Bardock would be proud of you. Just promise you'll come visit, will you?
With her eldest heading off to the stars again, her youngest and grandson saving the world, Gine's life was complete. Now, she had to make a decision. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. So what do you guys think? How will things be wrapped up for this story? Is
I have
Gine
no
going
clue,
to call it a
but
day,
I'm about to
truly?
find out in a
Or
minute.
will something else drag her back into the mix? Leave a comment below, and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later.
Ooh.